What's good, everybody? This is Dale from Upstate Bets. I'm here with my partner Reoz, bringing you guys some NFL action. It is already week 11, and we have a really good slate of games here to bring you guys over here on Prize Picks. So we're covering some player props over here, of course, and we cover all our player props over here on Prize Picks. And if you guys are interested in signing up for Prize Picks, they just dropped an option where you can actually 25 times your money. You heard it right. There's an option now where you can definitely really come up with some player props, and you can mix and match sports as well. If you're not just an NFL fan, we do NBA over here as well. If you want a 100% deposit match, dollar for dollar, all the way up to $100, use the promo code UPSTATE. It also helps us out a ton if you use the code. And drop a like on this video as well so we can hit some props. So we're going to be doing 4 picks total today. Before we get into the video, though, Riaz, talk about the Patreon content.
We've been giving out a ton of winners over here on YouTube, but way more over on the Patreon. You're going to get double winners over on the Patreon with Dale and I giving you 4 to 6 picks almost every single day. More picks when there's NBA and NFL, like on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays. So a ton of picks going out there. We've been having a really great month of November. So we really appreciate everybody who's already on it. And if you want more details, everything's going to be linked in the description below. You can also find it at patreon.com/upstate. And also we dropped the price from $20 to $15. So definitely check out that tier. You are getting an amazing value. We've been absolutely crushing every single day. I believe we've only missed 2 or 3 nights where we haven't picked a winner, but other than that, we've been giving out nothing but winners. So definitely check it out.
And without further ado, we're going to jump into the video. Week 11 here. I'm going to go with 2 guys in the rush yards, but my first guy is going to be someone that's probably pretty popular on the slate, I'd imagine. I've been going to him, it seems like, every week, and for good reason. I mean, Justin Fields has been absolutely fantastic. Let me find him here. And his rush yards is a little bit higher than what it has been over the past couple weeks, but like I said, there's very good reason for that. He's been absolutely explosive over the course of the season so far. And just these last 2 games, we saw back-to-back 60-yard runs for him. He's at 71.5. Took me a while to find him, but he's at 71.5. And they're going against Atlanta, who's a pretty soft run defense. They're about middle of the pack, but they are allowing 119 rush yards per game. And we know the Chicago Bears' identity is to just run the ball. I don't know if they don't trust him throwing the ball or if they just kind of realize that he is so elite with his legs that, he's kind of been holding this back and now he's just finally exploding. But Miami's also a tough defense running the ball, and he smashed against them as well. So I definitely think he can go on the road to Atlanta. We've seen him do it at home and on the road, hit this line before. I think, the way he's been playing, the way the offense is designed for him and read option and to get outside the pocket and escape for these big runs, I definitely think he can keep up this explosiveness and rush for 71.5 yards here.
Love Justin Fields. He's been absolutely smashing these last 2 weeks. I'm going to stay here in the rushing yards with somebody who else has been smashing these last 2 weeks, and that's Tony Pollard. He's got a great matchup here against Minnesota. I still like him even if Zeke plays. I know Zeke's dealing with that hamstring injury or quad injury. He's not going to get the full workload. Tony Pollard's been running the ball so well, getting over 20 carries in both of those games. And even before Zeke was out, Tony Pollard was still hitting these lines. This is somebody they ton of talent, and with Zeke's trouble being on and off the field, they want Tony Pollard to step in and be used in any way he can, and he still gets double-digit carries with Zeke playing. And without him playing, this line is going to be smashed. I mean, we saw the 115 against Green Bay. We saw the 131 against Chicago. We saw the 83 against Detroit. I mean, this is somebody who just runs the ball so hard. He has great speed, great vision of finding the holes, finding the pockets. And with this line being so low, with Zeke still questionable, you got to get it now before Zeke gets ruled out and this gets jumped up to 60, 70 yards rushing.
And he's broken out for a couple 40-yard gains in his last couple games as well. So he's definitely an explosive back. And like you said, even if Zeke's playing, he's going to be limited. So Pollard's going to be the guy here against Minnesota. Another guy in the rush yards I'm going to be getting to is Brian Robinson. If you watched this video, watched our video on Monday, you know that I went to Brian Robinson in the rush yards, going right back to him at 63.5. I mean, his line was significantly lower against Philly for good reason. Now he gets super bumped up to 63.5 against Houston. But I understand. I mean, mean, he's coming off a season high 26 rush attempts and also a season high in snap count. I understand Antonio Gibson's there. He's not really getting a ton of carries. It's really Brian Robinson that's getting the carries in between the numbers and really pounding that ball. And he's going to be able to pound the ball against Houston, as so many backs have against Houston this year. Let me read the list to you. Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne, Austin Eckler, Justin Fields, Javonte Williams, and Jonathan Taylor have all smashed their projected line against Houston so far this season. The worst defense in the league. They give up 181 rush yards per game, which is 32nd worst in the league. 5.2 yards per attempt, worst in the league, and 32nd in rush attempts allowed. So they're absolutely terrible. This team, obviously, there's some disciplinary actions going on with, something about drinking. I expect things to be cleared up by the time it goes on. I don't know if Brian Robinson was involved, but I understand that, the regimen for this team is going to be running the ball, especially against Houston here, and I like Brian Robinson a lot.
Yeah, we saw him come back. He's the workhorse now. We saw in that Monday night game that even against a really good team like the Eagles, he gets a ton of workload and he runs the ball very well. So I love that play right there. And to get off the rushing yards over here in receiving yards with Allen Robinson, this is somebody who has disappointed a lot of the season. But with Cooper Kupp injured, he's going to step into the number one role. I know they have Tyler Higbee, they have Van Jefferson, but Allen Robinson needs to get going here this season. I know the line, as of how he's looked so far, looks really high at 48.5, but I think there's going to be a ton of opportunities in this game. The Saints have a decent pass defense, not the greatest, but this is going to be a really tough game. I really want Matthew Stafford to be playing in this game. That is going to dictate a lot of my usage for him in these 2-3 pick powers, but really love Allen Robinson. Even if Matthew Stafford's out, I think he's going to get double-digit targets. He's going to be used all around the field. They're going to put him in the slot. They're going to let him run deep routes like he is used to, like he was doing for Chicago. I think he is too good of a talent, and we know the upside with him. And with no Cooper Kupp, and Van Jefferson really missing the majority of the season. We know Tyler Higbee is a big part of this offense, but they haven't been able to find anything in the rushing game. So whoever is back there for the Rams quarterback, they're going to have to throw the ball, and Allen Robinson is going to be the go-to guy.
I really like that pick, man. I know, like he said, he's been disappointing for a lot of fantasy owners and people probably taking his props. He's been very disappointing to a lot of people. But this New Orleans defense, we saw players in Pittsburgh have really good really good matchup against New Orleans. I think he can go out there, and this team desperately needs a win as well. So the Rams have looked really bad to kind of start the season. The offense has looked really bad, to say the least. So Allen Robinson should step up here and have a nice game, and that's going to be our 4 players. You can pair these up however you would like. If you're chasing that 25x, you're going to have to punch in another 2 more players, and the comment section is going to be wide open if you guys want to drop a player down in the comment section. So drop a like on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 4,000. We're about 300 and whatever, 350 something shy. Hopefully we can get there relatively soon. And thank you guys for tuning into the video. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.